So we will able to see the multiple hashes on GitHub. But same like
Yeah.
we also want our DVC also, but DVC we won't get the checkouts directly from DVC. So
Okay.
for that we have to use that tool that support the DVC.
Okay.
So one of the famous tool is called DAXUP.
Okay.
DAXUP, like I already explained you what is DAXUP. It's built on top of GitHub and gives some external feature for model experimentation using MLflow and data
Okay.
versioning using
Okay. Okay.
DVC.
Okay. Okay.
So first what we can do, we can directly go to the
Okay.
DAXUP.
Okay.
What is opening? I think DAXHub, not Data Hub. Yeah, let me log in it. So this is our
No.
repositories. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Can you make it a little bit bigger?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
No. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So what I do, I can create one repository,
Okay.
and the repository we can directly take the repository from GitHub. What we can do, we can directly take the repository from GitHub,
Okay.
so that we can version the code on GitHub and data on DVC.
Okay.
GitHub. This is the DVC GitHub.
Okay.
DVC insurance. Let me make it uh, private. Oh, yeah. Copying the thing. Basically initializing GitHub to a local machine, connecting it.
Okay.
Now we can connect our DAXUP to the GitHub. GitHub. We have three options: directly create the repository using DAXUP, or you got some
Okay.
template, or you if you want to connect through GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket and other platforms.
Okay.
So we have a GitHub,
Okay.
or you can use Azure DevOps to support, like Azure DevOps, or I think AWS code build, something like that. Code
Okay.
pipeline. With the help of it, you can connect here. Currently, we are
Okay.
using GitHub, so that's why I'm selecting GitHub. And
Okay.
why don't give it the option connected, new, connecting and selecting the repository.
Okay.
DVC insurance, not insurance DVC. Add DVC insurance. Yeah, DVC insurance.
Okay.
Yeah, this is also connected to our
Okay.
local local machine,
Okay.
local code.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Got it.
directly created one basic Python environment.
Okay. So this DVC mainly useful like when files are coming like daily basis. It's gonna manage like
Yeah,
gonna track like how many files are coming, like if there any files are missing and all those things, right?
yeah. Also, how many, like basically it's like how many data like are coming, and
Okay.
what are data is changing or not.
Oh, okay.
Just
Okay.
like we maintain the code, versioning the code, same thing using with large files.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
GitHub is also option called GitHub LFS, something called that, some, yeah, LFS, for
Okay.
for versioning or monitoring the large files, tracking the large files. But what if you have a very big amount of data that it won't scalable? They
Okay.
just
Okay.
track it, but they won't scalable, just like the DVC.
Okay. Okay.
I created environment and activated it. Like we can create a couple of folders called data. Another one is uh, src or
Okay.
and files, and VS Code also. Yeah, just we created one folder called data and environment path and our experimentation notebook.
Okay.
We need a couple of let me take. I'm taking the insurance data so that we can check it how the data tracking working on it from
Okay.
our previous MLOps folder, ML flow.
Okay.
So we got the data, and we also have to install few dependencies.
Okay.
First one is for pandas to work with CSV data and NumPy, and we can using DVC. Another one is I think DVCS3 if I'm right. This before working with DVC, first we have to check it is your project repository is initialized with the GitHub or not. Currently
Okay.
my repository is initialized from GitHub, so I don't have to worry about it. I just directly jump into DVC.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because DVC work on top of GitHub.
Got it. Okay.
I mean, it's taking time. Till the requirement is installed, I will also explain you. Like consider you're working one project, working your personal or working your MLOps project. If you want to uh, do all the MLOps related stuff like model monitoring, model versioning, data monitoring, data versioning, as well as code monitoring, code versioning, you can do all
Okay.
the stuff using DAXUP.
Okay. Okay.
Also the building pipelines. There's a lot of tools in the market. Like DVC is one of the options. Another one is called ZenML,
Okay.
and another one is BentoML.
Okay. Okay.
ZenML, BentoML, and Neptune. Oh, in MLOps, a lot of tools are coming. More than hundreds of tools are there for every
Oh,
single
okay.
for every single work. But they are the like DVC and MLflow are the core tools.
Okay.
MLflow is heavily used for model monitoring, experimentation tracking, and model registry and deployment.
Okay.
And DVC is heavily used for data versioning, and just like GitHub is used for code versioning. All the different tools build on top of it.
Okay.
Yeah, another tool called Prefect. It's a alternative of Airflow. Airflow is one of the core tool. And another tool called BentoML, ZenML, and CommitML. They are recently released.
Okay.
What they do they this tool are the combination of all the tools.
Oh, okay.
They're doing all this thing.
So something like orchestration, everything. Or?
Yeah,
Okay. So work Airflow is being used in that data engineering side, as like Spark and those things.
yeah. Airflow and Spark is also heavily used in machine learning side also. Like if you're
Okay.
working
Okay.
very big amount of data, you want to build the model, then all the time
Okay.
you have to choose a tool that is very fast. In that
Okay.
case, on that what is called Spark is coming. PySpark.
Got it. Okay.
PySpark.
PySpark. Yeah.
That's why PySpark also one utility called Spark.ml. With the help of it, you can build the machine learning models. Hello.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm eating, so that's the reason I'm
Yeah. Sure.
muting it.
So yeah, Airflow is used for building the pipeline or machine learning pipeline orchestration.
Okay.
It's depend, you can use Airflow or you cannot, because Airflow have one disadvantage, basically two disadvantages. Airflow won't support Windows. Another one is Airflow support DAX pipeline. It's work on top of DAG. Do you know what is
Okay.
DAG?
DAG, right?
Yeah, direct acyclic graph.
Direct acyclic graph. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
Spark uses, right?
yeah.
Okay.
No, Spark have the utility
Okay. Okay.
of DAG. They also, yeah. What in happening in DAG, you have to build the pipeline or orchestration sequentially. But
Okay.
in machine learning, we won't go sequentially. Like we train one
Okay.
model, then we realize, oh, our data is not working well. Then we go again and change some data, change some fine tuning, and retrain again the model.
Okay.
So that's why drag is not working here.
Okay. Okay.
So it's installed. So I will check the GitHub status. So currently these files are modified because we add requirement, experimentation, and environment, and as well as the data file. Same like we are using GitHub to, if the size is big, or I will take more big. Hello. Yeah. Hello. In GitHub, first for that you have to initialize. In GitHub, you have to connect your GitHub repository to locally. We have to initialize it. Same thing we have to do in DVC. After initializing the GitHub, we'll also have. Uh, Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Javel. Sorry, actually, my system got hung up, so I joined from my phone.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, something happened actually. I'll turn out. I don't. It just hung up actually suddenly.
Yeah, it's happening sometime.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will, where I am here, like, so what I have to do, like in GitHub first we have to use get init to initialize our local project repository to the GitHub, so that we
Yeah. Yeah.
can track it.
Okay.
So once we write this code in background, what this code do, they create one directory called .get
Okay.
and track all of this thing in this folder regarding the GitHub versioning. Same thing we can
Okay.
do. Same thing we can do for data tracking. We have to do the same thing, but this time we can using DVC. DVC
Okay.
to initialize the DVC. Once I enter
Okay.
this,
Okay.
uh, it will create one folder called .dvc, and also create
Okay.
one file called .dvc ignore. Inside
Okay.
that
Okay.
folder we have all the like configurations, get ignores, all those things we have to ignore. Basically, configuration related to the DVCs.
Okay. Okay.
So let me open the VS Code, and as well as the DVC. It is too many activities changes only for the. So yeah, for GitHub we are using get to track the all the thing.
Okay.
If you want to specifically track only one thing, then you have to give the file name. Like I want to
Okay.
track only the requirement file, then I have to give the requirement name.
Okay.
Same thing also happening in DVC. First I can track all those things using GitHub.
Okay.
Oh, actually I think let me cancel it, because we did not had it also tracking the VENV environment, because I did not add it on the .ignore file.
Okay.
No, get, I have to write the folder name so that
Okay.
environment won't get cache.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's hidden. Let me add all them. This is the new file it will be tracking, and now it's time to track. Currently we are currently we are able to track all of our code,
Okay.
but I don't want to track data using GitHub. I want to track our data using CSV,
Okay.
using DVC. So for that, what I have to do, just like we can add get add to track the things, same thing we can do using DVC add, and our data file. Where is our data available here?
Okay.
DVC add, and the data is available data folder inside, and my data name insurance.csv.
Okay.
Once I add it, it will create some files. Oh, why it's giving error? It's already tracked by get. Okay, I have to ignore it from get. Or let me do it on hard dot. I just remove the get just because I by mistake also track the data.
Okay.
I just need to copy this thing, and yeah. So after adding get in it, so it's already added. Then you have to add. Let me check. Remote hyphen v. Yeah. So after adding get init, we also have to add dvc init, which we already did it. That's why our dvc folder is created. So now
Okay.
what we have to do, we also first we have to track the data. So for that I have to write dvc and add. Then where is our data available which I want to track it? My data is available inside data folder, and the data name is insurance.csv. Same thing, I also have to pass it to track this thing.
Okay.
So I pass it here data, and inside data I have one file called insurance. I want to track this data using dvc.
Okay.
So that then I have to enter it. No, it will create some configuration or get some metadata about it, just like I explained you yesterday. What uh, what dvc do, they create one file. Let me show you. Yeah, this one. They create one file. Inside that they noted few things. Like first one is they noted what is the size of it, and
Okay.
also the path. What is the path of it? Where is available?
Okay.
And this was the hash values. It will auto generate it. And if you want to see where our tracking is happening, it will be stored inside. Have you able to see the data folder? I won't able to
Yeah.
increase the size.
Okay.
Inside data we have called caching, and inside that we have caching and files md5. And what is md5? Md5 is your hashing.
Okay.
Then we have a we have another folder called d5, and inside that we have a big amount of hash values, hash file. If I
Okay.
click here, you're able to see all of our data. This is all
Okay.
this is all cache data, and this is our original data, insurance.csv. but
Okay.
but you once, like, if you see on the first time, you will think, oh, they are not tracking, they are just copying the things. Whatever the data I have available, it will copy the same data on caching file. Have you able to see it?
Yeah, I can see it. So.
Yeah, but actually it's not copying the thing. If you see it, you will be thinking it's copying the things, it's copying the same data.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
actually it's not copying, it's just referencing it.
Okay.
whatever
Okay.
whatever the data we have inside our data folder which we track it, it just referencing it.
Okay. Okay.
Referencing it. So like, what is the hash value, where the hash value and where the folder is coming. Like, the hash value is automatically generated from where we once we enter it. once we enter DVC, add and our file name.
Okay.
Like once we add it on our terminal, it will start tracking our insurance.csv file. On that time, they also generate some hashing value using our times, things like that, to generate the hashing value. And if
Okay.
you able to see the first two values, the D and phi, the first two values will be the folder name,
Okay.
and after that all the values will be our file name, which is caching.
Okay.
And what methodology DVC used to track our version our track our basically track our big data like CSV. They using first the counting, they also using the locations,
Okay.
but they
Okay.
also, if we only track the folder, then what they do, they also count how many files available inside that folder.
Okay. Okay.
Currently we are not tracking the folder, we are tracking the only specific file.
So
Say,
basically, we are saying like just tracking file size, like how many rows are there? Am I correct?
yeah.
Those like what is the 55628? Is this MB or like it's number of
It's
row
not
lines?
right, it's like a KB,
It's a
something like
KB.
that.
Okay. Okay. Or something like that. Okay.
It's size
Okay.
of the file.
Size of the file. Okay. Like the
Yeah,
memory size. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay.
KB, I think less than KB, it's something called byte.
Okay.
They're tracking byte, not KB. Less
Right.
than
Okay.
KB, byte. And the path of the file where the file is
Okay.
available.
Okay.
If
Okay.
I track the folder, then it will also add another key and value pair like folder name and counts. How many counts we have available? Like count, like
Okay.
consider we have only one count, that say one count available here.
Okay. Okay.
That's what they're using to track it. And versioning part
Okay.
taken care by GitHub. DVC.
GitHub. Got it.
Yeah. So what I do, I have to also push it on after doing, like what we do after adding, or like after adding our code on GitHub, what we can do, we can commit it and push it.
Okay.
Same thing we also have to doing when you are using DVC. Just like after adding get add, then what we have to do, we have to, next step is we have to commit it. Then we have to
Right.
push it on GitHub. Same thing we have to do. But in DVC we won't commit it. We directly push it.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Now after that I added it. So then let me status. Yeah. Yeah, it's added. Have you able to see it? I did not add the, like I did not add this. I did not add my insurance.csv file on dot ignore. GitHub ignore. Get ignore.
Okay.
But
Okay. Okay.
but it will ignore it.
Okay.
It only take .csv with this file .dvc,
Okay. Okay.
insurance.csv.dvc. It's only take the dvc. DSV is versioning our data, and GitHub is use this file to tracking over it. Basically,
Okay. Okay.
GitHub is tracking it. DVC is versioning. DVC is tracking it. GitHub is versioning it. It's little bit confusing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
File versioning done by the inside the hashing, inside the code versioning done by the GitHub, and the data versioning is done by our
This.
DVC. Yeah.
Got it.
So it
Okay.
will automatically edit first. For that, first we have to add our data to DVC. Then we
Okay.
have to
Okay.
like commit it, like adding first commit, then directly push.
Okay.
Why it's ejected? Why? My get giving some issue.
Oh, okay, okay. Sometimes it's frustrating, like when we get the Git issues.
Yeah. Let me reinitiate it.
Okay.
Mm, get always giving issue.
Yeah.
if you miss something. Now again we have to like DVC. Again we have to add it on DVC. Let
Okay.
me also remove all the stuff which is related to DVC. And the DVC file, and this one also. Yeah. Now our repository is fresh and clean. We can going all the stuff again. We initialize our GitHub. Now it's time to initialize the DVC init.
Okay.
Then after initializing the DVC, it will create couple of files called .dvc folder, and what file we are tagging it will, oh, we won't track, oh, we just initialize it. That's why it's
Okay.
only create dvc ignore and dvc folder .dvc.
Uh, Okay. Okay.
So then I have to track my data which is insurance.csv. For
Okay.
that I have to add here dvc add where is our data available here path. Basically
Okay.
this is insurance.csv. I want to track this.
Okay.
Just add it. It will what do it will add these things, and also creating few files like insurance csv.csv. Basically the file name and also the extension name. At the end it add .dvc.
Okay.
It's a dvc extension.
Okay.
And where is it yeah, this file. Inside this file it will create some metadata. The metadata will be like it will tracking something like the what is your file size and where is your file available here. And if we
Okay.
track if and we in, and if we only currently we are I specifically track the data, but if I want to track the folder, then it also add another key value called count, and how many values how many file
Oh, okay.
available in the inside this folder.
Okay. Okay.
Take if only one let's take only one count one and the count two and the count three like that. And the
Got it.
hashing
Okay.
will be
Okay.
auto generated using some time sheet time thing
Okay.
time date.
Okay.
So
Okay.
where we see our tracking inside DVC folder, we have another folder called caching, inside file, and inside
Okay.
MD5. MD5 what is when MD5 is the algorithm for caching it for hashing the values.
Okay. Okay.
and and the first two value will be our folder name D5 for tracking the version,
Okay. Okay.
and the others are our file name.
Okay.
In the first time you see, oh, it will not tracking it, basically copying. You will think, oh, it's just copying the thing. This was my original data and this was my tracking data. Basically it's not copying it. It look like it's copying it, but it's not copying it. It's just reflecting, referencing
Okay.
referencing it
Okay. Okay.
referencing it. So
Got it.
I
Okay.
initialize it. Now what I have to do after that, I have to check
Okay.
the GitHub status. Then get add all to using the get. Then get
Okay.
commit first commit get push. Finally it's pushed.
Okay.
So if we directly come to the GitHub, if I go inside data, we did not get the data. We only get the our metadata
Okay.
that was created by DVC.
Okay.
We track this file metadata file using GitHub. Inside this file whatever the data we have, we tracking our data. We're tracking
Okay.
our data, like we're tracking our CSV data using DVC. And what the DVC file created the metadata, we're tracking this metadata using GitHub.
Okay.
They all are interconnected.
Okay.
And if you want to able to see the and inside DVC we inside DVC in local we have one folder called caching.
Okay.
But in inside caching we have a referencing thing. But in here we won't able to see the caching. We won't able to hear the uh, configurations or caching or referencing file. The
Okay.
reason is because whatever the data it's not copying it, it referencing it, and GitHub won't support the big file.
Okay.
So that's why we don't tracking
Yeah,
here.
those first.
We won't pushing on GitHub.
Okay, okay.
So
So,
now,
okay, if we don't push into the GitHub, how do we manage in different environments? Like,
yeah, I will tell
uh,
you this one. Currently, you know how to track the data directly dumping on it. How to track the
yeah,
data, you know. Now it's time to understand the DVC cloud part. Now currently we are
okay,
able, if we, currently we are able to locally track our data
okay,
locally in my machine. Currently what I'm doing, I'm tracking it my locally.
okay,
If you want to push it on cloud, then what you have to do, you have to add the DVC remote where you want to push it. You want to track it over DVC folder, DVC data using GCP or using S3 bucket or using uh,
okay,
Azure, what is it? Azure Blob Storage.
okay, okay,
What repository you are using to track it, except GitHub.
okay, okay, okay,
What data warehouse you are using to track it. Currently our file is little bit very small, so I am using Daxup to track it. The reason why I am
okay.
using Daxup because it's free.
Got it. Okay, okay,
Others are paid.
yeah,
AWS are
okay,
paid one.
okay, okay.
So what I have to do, have you remember one thing I told you previously, in MLflow session we have an option, just we have to add couple of configuration file and it will be easily track it, and directly we have to run the same code and it will be dumping on experimentation.
Those models, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I think
So
that you were saying that data location will be given to those models in some other place.
yeah, this one,
Uh,
not location, a configuration file, configuration, basically
okay,
authentication code. So we have to just
okay,
copy the authentication code and paste it to an environment,
okay,
and MLflow is automatically cache it and link it to the DVC.
okay,
That was the first initial one, the original one. Then after that they also include the code part which we are using to dump the, which we are previously using to dump our MLflow experimentation on DVC.
okay, okay, okay,
This is the first option which I told you about,
okay,
the experimentation one. You just have to like copying the copying this one,
okay,
copying this code.
okay, okay,
Not this code, basically uh, models.
okay,
Yeah, this is one.
okay.
They remove options,
Oh, okay, okay,
just like they give the DVC, and inside
okay.
I have you able to see my like tokens.
Yeah, I can see
Same
that.
thing, they also added the option here called ML flow. They
Oh,
remove the
oh,
ML flow option
okay.
in
It's
ML
not
flow.
they were not supporting anymore.
Yeah, they not putting it. They
Oh,
have to using different method to dump it. Just we are doing
okay,
previously.
okay,
So what we have to
okay,
do, same
okay,
thing. We just have to copy these tokens and run it on terminal, and it will able to push it on cloud.
okay, okay,
Like, have you noticed one thing? I put the code, same code on GitHub, and also same code will be also available on Daxup. But in GitHub we only able to track the data. We only able to track our code, won't able to track our
okay,
data.
okay,
And once I come into the Daxup, like, have you able to see it is also track the data, like this one. They
oh,
give the
okay. That data. Okay, okay,
and the
okay,
stages
okay. Is
and the
something like
command.
okay, the storage area will be here. Am
Yeah,
I correct?
yeah.
Got it.
In
Okay.
background they're using DVC.
Okay, okay. DB
Once
is something like you were saying. It could be something like AWS S3 and kind of thing. Am I correct? Or,
Yeah, yeah. It's
okay.
S3 is a storage part, but DVC is not the storage. It's a tracking storage,
Tracking storage. Okay.
tracking the big files.
Okay. Okay.
So if I click on DVC, it will also give what file is it?
Okay.
Data. Inside data folder we
Okay.
have one file called insurance.csv,
Okay.
and the command will be like that,
Okay.
and the state and the path and where it's come directly come from GitHub. But we won't
Okay.
directly come from Get. But we won't uh, what I say. Wait, we won't dump our code on GitHub. Dump our data on GitHub.
Okay.
We
Okay.
just
Okay.
dump the metadata. This
Okay.
was the metadata,
Okay.
and this metadata will taken care by. If you give this metadata to DVC, they will understand it, what this data is talking about,
Okay.
and it is also readable. We can also tell it what is it, but
Okay.
GitHub won't understand.
Correct. Okay.
GitHub won't read it.
Okay.
is our data. If you also want to, currently we are only tracking our metadata on cloud.
Okay.
On cloud, we are not
Okay.
we are what I'm trying to say, we are not tracking the main data, we are tracking the metadata. The main data we
Okay.
are tracking using on locally.
Okay.
If something changes, how can you figure out? Again, it will show you the metadata, it won't give the real data. So for that you can
Okay.
also directly file not found, push it to backup storage. Understand? So like currently we are only tracking the metadata. If you want to also uh, reflecting the main data, for that we also have to give the add the our main data.
Okay.
It's giving this option dvc connect. Hmm, understand? If you directly if you want to track our data, main data, not the metadata, then for that you have to use DAXUP, directly DAXUP, instead of using GitHub.
Okay.
Because GitHub won't take the data, they only take the metadata. That's why it's only
Okay.
reflecting metadata in a very visualized way.
Okay. Okay.
So what we can do, we can create another repository to reflecting our data.
Okay.
Create new repository, blank one, insurance, public, already taken. Okay, insurance dvc, not now currently. Just copying the same code, and oh, it will be disaster. What I'm doing, I created one folder called DAX and
Okay.
going inside the folder. uh, then after creating the folder, I go back to it, and I already created the environment here, current environment. Instead of creating the new environment, because it's taking again time, so
Okay.
what I do, I use the previous environment,
Okay.
which is our previous one. This is this environment,
Okay. Okay.
this is one. So for that I have to go back to the folder called DAXUP.
Okay.
Or I don't need to do extra thing. Let me I just remember, we don't need to do extra thing, because yesterday yesterday night I read this article to
Okay.
track the like data using DVC and uh, dumping on DAXUP.
Okay. Okay.
We already add the data. What we have to do, we just have to at the DVC origin and this code. I think
Okay,
we don't
okay,
need to do extra stuff. We're
okay,
just going inside the DVC and copying this code,
okay,
paste it to our environment here,
okay,
terminal.
okay, okay,
Then after that, DVC, pasting this one.
okay,
Now after that we have to like DVC push.
okay,
Why it's not? Why it's not? Failed to push cloud config server error though no remote specified ML flow. I am on the correct demo. DVC, okay, DVC hyphen R origin. Understood.
okay.
Yeah, it's pushing. Done.
Okay.
Actually, I forget it. I just remember while creating this repository, we don't need to create
Oh,
it.
okay, okay,
Same thing, we have to do it. Now I refresh it.
okay, okay, okay,
Now we go inside. I come to data after I clicking it. I also get the
okay,
data.
okay, okay.
Then also perform the filtration, counts and
Yeah,
rows.
okay.
Have you understand the flow, or it's little bit confusing for you? I have to repeating it again and tomorrow, today and tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe we can repeat one more time, like high level tomorrow. I
Yeah,
overall I understood the concept. Yeah,
yeah. Basically, what I am
maybe.
doing, I
Yeah.
in my local first I create one GitHub repository called
Right.
DVC
Okay.
Insurance. Inside that, I created a repository to track our code, not
Okay.
specifically track our data because GitHub did not have the ability to track the data. So for that, what
Correct.
I am using DVC to track
Okay.
our
Okay.
data. So for that, we have to add to after initializing the DVC. We also have to
Okay.
give the DVC just like we are giving GitHub to track all the data, like giving the command get add and dot to track
Okay.
all of them. So I also want to give the file which file I want to track using DVC.
Okay. Okay.
So I want to track our data which is insurance.csv.
Okay.
So I give DVC add insurance.csv. So it will be tracked by the DVC.
Okay. Okay.
So this CSV file, previously if we won't use CS, if we won't write that, it will be directly pushed to the GitHub
Okay.
if we won't ignore it.
Okay.
So currently it's added to DVC, it's automatically ignoring it through GitHub. In GitHub this CSV data won't go, it's only go the metadata.
Okay.
Whatever the metadata we have, this metadata will track by the DVC, sorry, track by the GitHub.
Okay.
What is metadata?
Okay.
With the help of this metadata we can track our data main file, main CSV.
Okay.
And after tracking it, it will what will do, it will create couple of files, couple of folders inside caching folder.
Okay.
Inside caching folder, inside file, first they create one folder. What is hashing algorithm you are using? I am using MD5. It will
Okay.
automatically select it. We won't give to select it. We do not have an option to give the hashing algorithm.
Okay.
Then after that, the first two first two character, first two string will be the our folder name. Then after that,
Okay.
whatever is left, it's our file name. The file name is the file name which we are tracking it.
Okay.
Currently I'm tracking the insurance.csv. So that's why it's giving here insurance.csv with this hashing name. But
Okay.
by seeing it, you can thinking about, oh, it's also it's not tracking it, it's copying things, it's copying the data. But in
Okay.
actually, it won't copying it, it's just referencing it.
Okay.
Whatever the changes happening here, it will be automatically reflected inside this folder.
Okay.
Like in future, I will do some processing and save the data inside this
Okay.
folder. Then again it will automatically track it and store it in the same folder, but it's to inferencing it the same folder, referencing it, and giving this metadata. Understand? We will seeing this part tomorrow. After
Yeah.
currently
Yeah.
we are tracking the data, but what about we are changing some data, how it is tracked.
Okay.
It's same like GitHub, nothing more, nothing less. So after tracking the data using DVC, what I am doing, I am dumping all the code into our GitHub repository.
Okay.
Whatever the metadata we have, we, we give this, and also we connecting this repository to our DAX hub, because DAX hub have the functionality to understand the DVC code as well as the ML flow code. They will differentiate between DVC, ML flow, and the GitHub code. But
Oh,
GitHub
okay.
did not have this ability. Did not GitHub only track the code. If you give the DVC folder, if you give the DVC file, it will
Okay.
consider as a file, code file. It not
Right.
consider, oh, it's related to the DVC. So this
Got it.
ability this ability only have the DAX sub. That's why it will differentiate it, which
Okay.
code is related to which. Like it's all the file available there. If you want to only see the data, then you have to collect the data. Select the
Okay.
data, it will see the data. Like if you want to see the machine learning experimentation tracking, it will available on models.
Okay.
Currently we are not tracking the machine learning ML flow things in our folder, that's why it won't available for us. In our node, in our code, we have one uh, exp.pynb notebook file.
Okay. Okay.
It is also differentiated and also gave it here. Whatever the notebook we have here, it will give here. And this is
Okay.
our GitHub code, and this is our DVC file. Currently we are only able to see the metadata of the DVC. If you want to see the actual data which we are tracking it, for that
Okay.
what we have to do, we have to configure this thing.
Okay.
Configure this DVC to locally, then using this command to directly push it here,
Okay.
so that we can also able to see the data, which data we are tracking.
Okay. Got it.
Not this one, this one. Inside I give the data, it will also show the data for. If I change something, it will also reflecting here,
Okay.
and also tracking the history.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Understand.
like a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah. 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 I have so many steps
Yeah, like you will understand once you do couple of time practical.
on it.
I will
Okay. Okay.
add this, beautiful documentation inside the session link,
Okay. Okay.
so that we can referencing it.
Sure. Sure.
So you have any doubt?
Okay for now. Yeah.
Tomorrow
I
I
think I
will
have to
go.
practice it actually.
Yeah, tomorrow I will go once again all of the steps, and also modifying this data, and also seeing how's the modification, how he tracking the modification, how the DVC
Okay.
tracking the modification. Just like we're doing some modification on code and push it to GitHub, it will modify
Okay.
it. Then
Right. Okay.
how this thing in working on DVC, we will see it by tomorrow. If I also add it today, you'll also like confused. You
Yeah.
are-
Yeah. Sure, Javin. Yeah.
yeah. If I need out.
Yeah, I'm good for now. Yeah. I think I have to practice it. I'm trying to understand for the